I have made very specific ranking videos in the past, but this video is a super specific Star Wars ranking video to end all random Star Wars rankings. I'm going to be ranking Star Wars movies by the facial expression of the third speaking character's second line of dialogue's fourth word of the 19th scene of the movie. I don't want to see any more comments saying this is not specific enough, because this is specific enough. Leave me alone. Anyway, let's just get right into the worst facial expression of the third speaking character's second line of dialogue's fourth word of the 19th scene of the movie with Empire Strikes Back. This movie should never land this low, but Yoda completely ruined this movie. The 19th scene for this movie was Luke and R2 landing on Dagobah, but since only two characters were talking in that scene and we need the third speaking character's second line of dialogue's fourth word, I was forced to look at the next scene. Yoda says this line here, then his next one is this.
Oh, wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm.
As you can see, when Yoda says weapon, his hand covers his face, so we can't get a read on his facial expression. Since there is no way to get around this, my hand was forced to make Empire Strikes Back the worst movie on this list. Moving on to number 11 is a Solo movie. The 19th scene of this movie was the Sabacc scene where Lando cheats Han, and for the third speaking character, it was Lando because Han and Kiara, they say some things. Lando's second line of the scene is right here.
Nobody's in the seat that I ain't taken from.
You can see that the facial expression is not a good one. First, the low light makes it hard to see, so I gave it like a 7 5/8 point reduction for that because like it's hard to see and I don't like doing work, so yeah. And also his forehead is very wrinkly and there's nothing really wrong with that. I just kind of wanted to point it out because it's true. But yeah, this doesn't even compete with the facial expressions we're going to see later in this video. Kind of like in number 10, the Force's alarm goes off. Just like in Empire Strikes Back, the 19th scene, which is Kylo having anger issues, only has two speaking characters in it, so we are forced to go to the next scene, and guess who the third speaking character was? That's right, it's none other than Rey. And I don't like Rey because hating on her is fun. Anyway, here's her second line right here.
It's the motivator. Grab me a Harris.
After looking at her face while she says grab, well actually it's pretty funny, I can't lie. I mean, she looks like a blobfish or something. This facial expression should honestly be way higher, and whoever made this list is an idiot. Wait, I made this list. But anyway, the reason this is not higher is because I have a reputation for hating on Rey. So anyway, let's just move on to number 9, which is the Jedi comes back or something like that. Scene 19 of this film is that scene where the rebels transmit the code to like the big ship to try to get on Endor to go blow some stuff up. So this scene starts with Han saying something, then Chewie does a little which I count as speaking. So that makes this random Imperial guy our lucky man. This is the second line this random imp had.
Shuttle Tidarium, transmit to the clearance code.
So this Imperial guy's facial expression is tough to read since it's a side angle and his eyes are covered by his little hat thing. But why I put him this high is I respect his hustle. Look at this man hard at work. Imagine if I worked this hard in my videos. Maybe it would actually make a good video or two some point. But then I'd have to actually put effort in, and that will never happen. So you're left with these videos. At number 8 is the worst movie to ever oh wait, I read it wrong, but actually it's the same thing. It's The Last Jedi. Scene 19, this film is where the Resistance got absolutely bodied by the First Order here. As the hangar blows up, BB-8 does a little yell, and Poe's kind of like, well, that's not good. Then the scene shifts to the leadership where our glorious leader Akbar says a line, and then he says this line.
It's a trap.
No, not that one, this one.
All craft, full engines. Concentrate, rear shield.
Unfortunately, Akbar is very far back in this scene, so it's kind of hard to read his face, but his pose is cool, so I'll give him some points for that. I mean, he's like, yeah, look at that. Oh god. Anyway, what I was saying is his pose was cool, so I gave him some points for that. And also, the fighters in the back through the window also makes it sick too. It is unfortunate that a few moments later, everyone blows up and we lose our highly esteemed general to the darkness of space. May he rest in peace knowing he will never be trapped again. And number 7 is A New Hope. We're past the bad facial expressions from the third speaking character's second line of dialogue. What was the other one? Fourth word in 19th scene. That right? Close enough. And we are now into the average stuff. 19th scene, this film is Leia's message to Obi-Wan like, hey bro, can you help me out? And so obviously she is the first to speak in this scene. And then Obi-Wan says a line which makes Luke our third character. And his second line is here.
I can't get involved.
This is honestly, like I said earlier, boring. But at least we can see his face. It's just a basic stare and it kind of looks like he lost something. It was probably his power converters. That's why he wanted to go to Tosche Station to pick up some more. But yeah, it's pretty boring. I got like nothing for it, like at all. Let's move on to number 6, the Clone Wars movie. Scene 19 in this film is Dooku talking to Jabba about something. I don't really know what they're talking about, but if you skip ahead a little, Dooku is the third speaking character, and this is his second line.
I have my ways.
It's honestly very hard to tell Dooku's his facial expressions because it is animated, but I know he is either very sad or very angry, which are like obviously two very different emotions, but like it's so hard to focus on like his face when that beard is like just pointing straight at me. Like, how is it so pointy? It's like just why am I talking about this? I don't know. I'm just gonna move on to number 5, Revenge of the Sith. Scene 19 in this movie once again only has 2 characters in it, and the scene I'm talking about is when Obi-Wan and Anakin say goodbye to each other for the last time before like they meet again and try to kill each other, you know, normal friend things. The next scene is a debrief with Kenobi and Cody. Wait, that rhyme, that's so cool. Anyway, here is Cody's second line.
When have I ever let you down?
Besides this line being like crazy ironic because he will actively try to execute him later, the facial expressions are pretty solid. His eyebrow location portrays one of those of calm and collected, but his show of certain confidence is also there, and I like to see it. It is a good expression of how he is feeling in this moment while saying his word, but it is, however, not better than the next 4. Starting with number 4 from Attack of the Clone. I'm gonna just skip ahead to Jango's second line. And yeah, he is the third character.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
This list was based only off the third character's second line of dialogue in the 19th scene. This would have been a clear winner by a long shot. But this list is not ranking this way, so we have to look at the facial expressions when the word simple is said. This is very similar to the last one, obviously since Cody is a clone of Jango, but there is one big difference that we have to look at. Look at the eyebrow placement here. See how much higher they are? I have no idea what this means, but it is a thing. Kind of like that one time I ran over a kid with my... Number 3 is going to be Rise of Palpatine. This is a very strange case because the 19th scene of this one is a hike up the hill, and after both C-3PO and Poe talk, Finn says his first line, but then his second line was...
What is it?
That means we don't have his 4th word, which means we cannot do the list properly. So I just had to use this picture of him from a few seconds later because it looks epic. I mean, I hate this movie just as much as the next person with an IQ above 13 does, but this facial expression is awesome. You cannot lie. I mean, just look at him. It's just so heroic and just that quality. It kind of looks like me right before I steal a power drill from the Home Depot. I would like to say that stealing is bad and very illegal. So don't do it. Unless you feel like it. Now for number 2 is Rogue One. Scene 19 happens right after the genocide at Jeddah. And this random guy talks, then Tarkin says something, then Krennic talks and about how cool he is, and then Tarkin's like, yo, I'm taking your Death Star, you bum. And Krennic responds with this.
Stand here amidst my achievement!
Now I'm no therapist, but if I had to guess the emotion Krennic had here, I would say he's a little bit angry. I don't know why I'd say that. It's just a little feeling. Call it the Force, if you will. But while I do love a good facial expression, like this one, it's good. It's very good, actually. It is time to find the best facial expression in the third character's second line of dialogue's 4th word in the 19th scene. So number 1 is the Phantom Menace. Scene 19 in this movie is the Queen thanking R2 after he saves the ship. And as you can guess, R2 is the third speaking character. And here is his second line. This facial expression is just perfect. Kind of like my channel. Subscribe now or I'll cut your legs off like Obi-Wan did to Anakin. Alright, see ya.